If you're a small business owner struggling to stand out online, this episode is for you. Today, we're diving into how you can leverage AI tools to boost your local SEO and attract more nearby customers and optimize your digital presence without breaking the bank. My guest, Prerak Mehta, is the founder of Net Mafia and a top-rated Udemy instructor who's helped thousands of entrepreneurs grow through smart SEO strategies. Tune in to uncover practical steps, avoid costly mistakes, and discover how AI is reshaping the future of local search marketing.
Welcome to Biz Help for You, the show that saves you the expensive learning curve by providing advice from industry experts in every facet of the entrepreneurial journey. Too many small businesses collapse. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, 20% fail within their first year, and less than 35% make it to their 10th anniversary. The goal of this podcast is to change that statistic. So if you're interested in learning more to be a successful entrepreneur, tune in today.
So Prerak, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Candy, for the amazing introduction. I've been really looking forward to be on your show as a guest speaker. And, we have been scheduling this podcast for quite some time, So thank you so much for having me. And I really look forward to, answer your questions and share my story and inspire other people who might be interested to start their own entrepreneurial journey.
Perfect. Well, thanks for being here. The first question, I kind of want to just really get into the basics first. And I would love for you just to talk about what are the most critical steps that a small business owner should take to improve their local SEO today?
Well, I think the biggest mistake that I think most entrepreneurs leave out on, especially if you want to get clients locally or customers locally, I think it should be very, it's like a prerequisite to have a Google My Business profile. Yet I don't see a lot of business owners doing so. So I think having your own GMB profile and optimizing the best way possible you can is the best thing that you can do right now as a business owner without spending a single penny on your marketing strategy. So just create your Google business profile, add your business name, address, phone number, verify it if it's asked, and add photos of your location, how you are treating your customers, and just add more and more social proof. Add your Google business posts, reply to reviews, ask reviews, and I think that will be a great foundation.
Mm-hmm. So you talked about optimizing your profile and all the things too, and you just talked about all those things, your address and pictures and social proof and things like that. So is that what it takes to optimize your profile, or are there other things that you could be doing as well that would help with the SEO?
So what I just shared is something which is mandatory, and it's something which would lay a great foundation to get started on. Obviously, optimizing things takes a whole other steps as well, which includes building citations. Just to give a brief on what citations are, it's basically local directories where you are filling up your information regarding your business on different, other websites where you're listing out your name, address, phone number. Then you can actually try and add in more keywords which are relevant to your niche. And if I may, share my secret, we actually in our company we use a tool called Localo, and it also allows us to optimize our clients Google My Business profile. It helps us show that in which location this profile is ranking in terms of the map pack, what the competitors are doing. We can spy what the competitors did that helped them push up or maybe go down in the ranking order. We can see where citations can be built, so we know exactly for this particular niche and for this business this is where we want to have to go and fill out all the details. We know that if we want to audit this and what are the things which are going wrong, how we can fix it, gives us an entire blueprint for us. I think I've laid out pretty much my secret from which we earn thousands of dollars. But I think there is a lot other things which goes into local SEO. What I've just shared right now is something which is basic building blocks of local SEO, and if you miss out on this, there's no point going forward. This is the primary step. It's like kindergarten of local SEO. If you miss out on this, then there's no point optimizing your website, creating content, getting backlinks, and so on.
Hmm. Well, and some people might be listening and thinking, well, I do want local customers, but I don't necessarily have a physical location, right? I'm not a store or a restaurant or something. I,
Mhm.
go and perform a service. Maybe it's lawn care or something. So I go to someone's home, so I don't really have a physical location. So what do I do to have a profile if I don't want to use like a personal address, and have that out there in the world? How do I really have a presence and still maintain a little bit of my privacy?
That is a really great question. Actually, well, Google has its own few policies and terms which we have to adhere by. We cannot just, otherwise our profile gets banned out of nowhere. So I think there are some restrictions, and it differs from place to place. So the situation that you presented me, a hypothetical situation, for people living in the United States, I think it would be difficult to operate from home and create your Google My Business profile. And but there is a workaround. You can maybe get a shared location. You have so many different virtual spaces that you can buy at a cost of $200 $500 a month. And I think that would be a good starting off point. But even if you can't invest that kind of money to get the address verification, so on, no worries. You can just list out your home address. It won't be visible. You can just uncheck that box to show your address publicly. Um, so address won't be visible. That's point number one. Point number two, if you are not showing your address, obviously people won't be able to call you, because Google wouldn't simply allow you to take calls and display your business phone number. So we actually worked with a client recently, and I'm going to share a testimonial pretty soon on my YouTube channel. So she had a similar problem. She's a school tutor, and here in India, there's a big culture of uh, home tuitions and private tuitions and professional coaching for school kids and college students as well. And she has been in this industry for quite some time, a couple of decades, I think. And she wanted to scale. She's been getting good amount of referrals, but she wanted to scale and get more and more and tap into different schools in the area. But the problem was she's operating from home, and it was difficult for her to figure out on her own. So what we did was we added the address where she takes classes and where she lives, but we made it not visible to publicly. But what we did was we actually asked her to give us a pamphlet copy, a digital copy of her pamphlet, where she shows all the subjects that she teaches, her name, her phone number, and so on. So all those details were in a digital copy, and we posted it in the Google Business Photos. So whenever someone came across the Google Business profile or in that local area through Google Maps, they would know that, okay, this person is taking coaching classes for this particular school and for this particular board. So let's just try and call this person. So they took a look at that image of her pamphlet, and they tried calling her. So we actually, in this way, we qualified only those incoming leads which are really really interested in reaching out. Because if you had a number publicly visible to everyone, you might just get a lot of spam calls, people just calling out of nowhere,
Mhm.
because it's a clickable link. But once you don't have a clickable link, it takes an investment and engagement from interested people to actually investigate more, that how do we contact this person and so on. So I think that helped a lot. But if someone doesn't have a graphic designer with them who cannot just create a pamphlet digital version of it, there's still one more workaround. Google does allow you to add a WhatsApp number, so that people, although they can't directly call you, but they can definitely leave a text on WhatsApp. So when they come across your profile, they can just click on the WhatsApp, and they'll be directed to your WhatsApp, that chat page, and they'll be able to text you.
Mhm. Mhm. So you were talking about things that you should be doing, right, to be able to be seen. What are maybe some of the mistakes that you've seen business owners do in terms of setting up their profiles that you want to warn them about? Like, don't do this because it can affect you seriously.
First of all, they most of them don't even complete all the details filling out in their Google Business profile. I think that feels really stupid, but most people don't do it, because most people feel like, okay, I'm done, I don't know how to do it, because they are not marketers themselves, they are business owners, and they would like to focus their energy and time on things that they are actually passionate about. So first things first would be to complete all the details which are required to fill up to there is a percentage, there's like a there's a bar, a pie chart kind of a thing, which shows how much things are needed from your end to complete your profile. So just do that. Add your opening hours, closing hours, whether your office location would be closed on a particular public holiday or so on. You'll get notification from Google time to time whether your office will be open on these days or not. um, Another mistake, if I were to point out, most yeah, so this is not common here in India, but I've seen this happen for business owners there in Canada and US, that they buy a bunch of reviews from Fiverr. And
Mm.
it really, Google is pretty smart. It knows that these reviews are bots, and they can easily flag your profile as spam, and they can just ban it overnight, and you won't be able to revive it again. So don't just Okay, so don't aim for quick wins, aim for long
Mhm.
term social proof. Ask your real clients and customers to leave the actual feedback on your Google business profile. Don't go over Fiverr and Upwork. I think this should be the last resort. If you cannot do it anything by yourself, and maybe if you're running out of time, you should just literally tell this person on Fiverr or Upwork to to do this entire thing. So don't just rely on these gig workers. They're absolutely terrible. And they are they are running all these cheap um, bot softwares. There's a GSSER and all these kind of black hat techniques which don't really work in 2025 moving forward.
Mhm. Well, I agree with that. I mean, I have people reaching out to me all the time too, saying like, we can increase your followers, we can do this, we can do that, and pay us as much. And I'm like, that's not valid,
That's vanity
followers
metrics.
or
I'm
like
just buying
talking
vanity
reviews.
metrics. You know,
Hmm.
there's no point in getting all those followers. I mean, if I'm a business owner, I want to have my social presence. And if those followers are not going to get me maybe, let's say, X amount of money, then that's what's the point? All these followers are just the metrics. It doesn't really matter. I have about 1,200 subs on YouTube right now. And to me, those subscribers don't really matter. That numbers doesn't really matter. What matters to me for my business is that how many leads are coming through that channel, how many leads are converting from the leads that are actually reaching out to me, if people are buying my courses on Udemy or not. So that is the main thing. If I were to buy a bunch of different followers, where will it take me actually? It's not.
Hmm.
It would be just to satisfy my ego. That's it, fueling my ego and
Right.
giving me a good night's sleep. That okay, I'm doing something. I'm doing something.
Hmm. I agree because I only want people who are finding value in what I'm providing. And if someone is just, saying, "Oh, I'm going to get you 10,000 followers," they're not really following you anyway, right? So what's the point, right? So I definitely agree. So it's a good point for people who maybe think they need that don't do that because Google can actually have a negative, perspective of your profile and, cancel it versus just do it the right way. If people are using your service, they value what you're doing and they're willing to leave you a positive review, then that's the way you want to go about it.
Exactly.
Hmm. I would love for you to talk too about AI and its impact on, what's happening with, profiles and what entrepreneurs should be doing and, taking advantage of the good parts of it, but obviously not having AI take over everything and not having it sound like them too, right? Because a lot of people put things into AI and you can tell that AI created all of the
Yeah.
content, right? So do you want to touch on that?
Sure. I mean, AI is a fantastic tool. I mean, I just cannot imagine what would have happened if AI was not, there today, because it eases up our work so much. We can do so much more in so little time. And but of course, it's just a tool. You have to use it as a tool. You cannot um, make it, or you cannot use it like a replacement to another human being. You always have to input something to get a better output. you know, it's not like a television that it's going to show you whatever they want to show you. It will ask you, and based on your inputs, it will give you the best possible answer to you. So when it comes to content generation, I think it really depends on what kind of content piece that you want to create. Like for me, example, I have been omnipresent on the internet. I mean, I just don't rely on text-based content, which is traditional SEO. I am diversifying my content strategy into creating videos, coming on these different podcasts, building my social proof, posting carousel posts, infographics on LinkedIn, on my Instagram, Facebook. Um, Creating courses on Udemy. It has a great social proof and big domain authority. So I get traffic from all these different sources, and I can safely say that creating different pieces of content requires different sorts of strategy. I mean, if I'm creating a 9 hour, 10-hour course on SEO, definitely I have to be very engaging, share something which is extravagant in terms of value, which something people have never come across from free sources, because internet is vast and now they have tons of information lying around for completely free of cost. So when it comes to generating content, you have to prompt something very special. So first and foremost, if I were to answer, and I'm deviating a little bit, but if I were to answer your question that how one can generate the best piece of content through AI alone won't be able to give you the best possible answer, because it is running on semantic knowledge. Okay, it doesn't have
Mhm.
experience, it has loads of data points. Now all these data points are good if you want to back your claims by some data or by some statistics. That's great. But when you are in today's world, when everything is being generated by AI, if you want your content to stand out, you have to share it through form of storytelling, and stories come through experiences and personal life experiences. So
Mhm.
we as human beings, we have that life, human life, that we go through different stages. We have those shared experiences that we go through. So we have the power of storytelling. AI tools doesn't have that. AI will just rut out information out of nowhere. So the more precise you can prompt to AI that this is the kind of information I want to share, this is my target audience, this is my tone of language. Let's just say Alex Hormozy, I'm sure most of them have heard about him. He's a business coach and consultant, and he has his particular style of sharing his content in his videos, YouTube videos, and in his books. So if I were to mimic his style of writing, I would know instantly that this is, something which comes from inspiration from Alex Hormozy. So you have to
Mhm.
have your own voice, style. You have to create stories, and through those stories you can share those valuable information. If you're just spitting
Mhm.
out facts and information, it will obviously come across as AI generated. So you have to prompt to AI that, okay, to give an example, let's just say I am trying to make a content piece around how to become a better podcast guest. Okay, now if I were to search this same term, or just give a single sentence prompt to chat gpt that, I'm trying to build a blog post on how to be a better podcast guest, give me a 1200-word article, it will just blabber out things out of nowhere. Like, we don't really know where this information came from. But as a person who has been on 27 different podcasts, 28 being this one, I now have some experience to share to the world. So now I can say that before jumping on the podcast, it's better to communicate with the host and share what the outline of the podcast would be, what are the things that we are going to discuss. And as a speaker, if you're a guest speaker, how to be more confident, how to not be camera conscious, how to set up the lighting, the framing of the camera, which microphone to use to give the best sound quality, because podcasts are audio based medium of sharing your content. So I think these are the things which comes from the experience, you know so
Mhm.
we can share all these things in AI would be better in terms of formatting our content and writing it in a structured way, but the core information comes from us. That's what I think.
Mhm. Right. So now that someone has this content, right, and maybe they use AI to get some ideas and then they, create it as their own using their stories, doing the things they're sharing it on social media or, however they're sharing it YouTube. How does the local SEO improve because they're sharing this content, and how does Google even find all those things and, then optimize their, profile with all this information?
You are asking really great questions, Candy. I mean, um, um, yeah, all these creating different content pieces really, really essential now, like never before. We now have Google's AI mode, which generally, shows up all the AI overviews, basically whatever search terms that you're entering in Google or in your search engine. Um, you'll find the answers being shown by AI generated. Initially used to see summarized content piece taken out from the website's content, but now we have all those information coming from all these different websites which are ranking, but now they are presented in a way that you no longer wish the user who is actually searching for this answers would no longer would want to click on the website source material, because basically their answer is being their answer, um, their question is being answered on this Google SERP. So it has become really difficult for new players to rank on Google SERPs, because the existing ones are already ranking and they are already competing with AI searches. So, well, how does Google analyze all these different content pieces? Simply because Google has something called its own crawlers, web crawlers. It's basically a piece of software code or tool which runs through all the different web pages and points present on the internet. And let's say, I have a blog page where I'm talking about how to be a better podcast guest, and somewhere I've mentioned about Candy Messer. Okay, I hope I pronounced your name correctly. So there, if I have linked to your homepage of your website, okay. Next, after reading my content, Google's web crawler will go to your web page and take a look at your content, understand that what content is catering to your particular keyword, which is there on your title of the homepage, the H1 tag, and what the content intent is, the keyword intent is. Okay. And based on that, it sees that, okay, in this web page alone, which other web pages are linking. And if it finds out that, okay, this guy Prerak Mehta from Net Mafia not just is linking to other people who are more resourceful to the related content niche, and also is posting stuff on Udemy, creating valuable courses, being omnipresent on his Instagram, Facebook, and is also posting videos on YouTube, because YouTube is also owned by Google. So here it picks out different data points. More data it collects, the more authority it will give you. So it has a score from 0 to 100. And the higher you are on the side of 100, the better your authority score is, and the better your chances of ranking higher on the search results for that particular key term. So yeah, that's how Google analyzes that all those different types of content pieces through its web crawlers. And it's active, like it doesn't stop. It goes from one page to another, to another, and to another. And yeah, it basically scrapes out all the content from all the web pages present on your website. When it comes to how much helpful, or how much it helps in terms of ranking all those local service pages, then definitely it helps a lot if you are getting high authority backlinks, relevant backlinks through other relevant um, businesses, local directories. And if you are posting, let's say I'm helping an accountant, okay, and this accountant is trying to rank in the area, let's say Houston, Texas, okay, and this accountant is new, has a new website, never has done any sort of other content generation on any other social channels. What we would do is basically create text based content, maybe add a audio version of that same blog post, of that same text based content on that same web page itself, maybe repurpose that same text based content into video content and post it on YouTube, and embed that YouTube video in that blog page, and that get backlinks from other CPAs, from other bookkeeping companies, or maybe even other tax auditing software tools, SaaS tools. So that would value our web page higher and higher in the eyes of Google, and that's how we can rank for local searches.
Hmm. Well, those backlinks, so is it something like if you're part of your local chamber and they have information that counts as a backlink maybe, or like a local calendar if you're hosting an event? Like what are the things that maybe they can use that would be backlinks that would help them increase, the what they need on their profile so Google starts to see them as more valuable?
So, well, backlinks are nothing but a mention of your web page on someone else's web page. That's how
Hmm.
simply I can put it, and it happens through multiple different ways. Definitely, it doesn't happen through different calendar invites or sharing links through emails. It happens through um, web page. So if I own a website, you own a website, if I'm linking to you, that's counted as a backlink. Now the backlink has different types as well. There are two types mainly: do follow and no follow. So basically, do follow is where I allow Google's web crawler to actually go through the link which is pointing to you. If the notation of the backlink that mentioned to your website is no follow, that means I'm strictly telling to Google's crawlers and bots that although this website is being mentioned, I am not trying to. I don't want you to go over to this website and then check out their content piece. So basically, I'm trying to prevent my SEO value to you. But if I have do follow, I am passing my link juice and my SEO value to you as well. So that's how Google's web crawler can go from my page to your page, and maybe from your page to other pages of your own website. So that's one thing about getting backlinks. And this normally happens if you were to help other person's website with content. So as we
Hmm.
shared about the same discussion about an accountant getting a backlink from a bookkeeping service company, if I were to talk about, maybe let's just say, VAT auditing or taxation filing for this fiscal year and how to do it more effectively, if I were to write content on that person's website, I can maybe ask for a backlink pointing to my page. Now, earlier, like back in the day, about 15, 20 years ago, it used to happen for free of cost. Now we have to pay for each and every backlink, and it really varies depending on how their authority is in the niche in terms of in the eyes of Google. Um, then you can get mentions through local newspapers and media channels, like let's say Forbes magazine is there, right? So if I were to get mention of your website on Forbes magazine, or I have let's say a journalist who is posting different news articles and is requesting about some information which we can provide, then maybe they can share a backlink pointing to us. So that's through digital PR, which we call press release is basically PR and not public relations. Then we have through guest posts and niche edits is primarily how we get backlinks. In terms of building local citations, we usually find local directories for your areas, for your niche, for your industry, and then try to fill up all those directories and get backlinks from those sources. So these are the three main majority traffic sources where we get backlinks from.
Perfect. Well, this is a lot of information, obviously, and I'm sure we've just scratched the surface, but I know we are coming to the end of the time we have together for today's interview. So I wanted to ask, do you have an offer that you would like to extend to our listeners? And if they want more information, they want to touch base with you, how can they find you?
Sure. I mean, I have a 22-page entire SOP document which people can go through, which will help all the upcoming marketers and local business owners on how to optimize their Google business profile and website to get traffic in terms of local SEO. And it's completely free. You can just click on the link wherever you'll be putting that link, and they'll be getting this document in their email inbox. And if they were to find me, they can reach me out on my website netmafia.co.in, and then they can book a call with me, 30-minute discovery call. I have a couple of courses in Udemy. I just recently launched e-commerce SEO course. I have a local SEO course as well, and I've been documenting my journey as agency founder and navigating all through different challenges, successes, and just documenting my journey on YouTube with no other intention whatsoever. So you can just find me on YouTube. It's Prerak Mehta from Net Mafia.
Perfect. Well, thank you so much for being a guest on my show today. I really appreciate it, and I definitely enjoyed the conversation that we had.
Thank you so much, Candy. It was a pleasure, and I really had fun chatting with you. You asked really great questions, and I hope your audience finds a lot of value from this conversation.
Yeah, me too. And to you, the listener, if you did enjoy today's topic and you want to hear additional information, you can find access to exclusive content in the show notes. Thank you for tuning in today. Would you please share this episode with those you know and leave a review on your favorite platform? And if you find our show informative, would you consider being a financial sponsor to help me continue my mission to educate business owners? A link is located in the episode description, and no amount is too small. I'd really appreciate your support. If you are interested in connecting with our guest and receiving the offer they had to share, a link to our resource page is in the show notes. Finally, if you have any bookkeeping or payroll needs, reach out to us at 310-534-5577 or contact@abandp.com. My team and I are eager to assist you. Until next time, have a great day.
Thank you for listening to Biz Help for You. Please join your host, Candy Messer, again next time. Have a terrific day.